Prime Minister will declare Britain's experiment with open borders has failed.
New English language requirements, an ECHR crackdown and a longer route to residency are among the government's tall orders.
That guy, Harry Wallop, who's a journalist and who transformed his body, lost all that weight, got himself a six-pack.
In 4 weeks.
That's the thing. How did he do that?
Well, he's on later, so we can ask him.
4 weeks?
No time at all.
What?
He must have not been eeting.
Oh, I don't know. Just to...
And been in the gym.
The attitude, what's mine is yours.
You're very generous, yes.
But there's a lot of people who are not very generous.
Yeah, no. I don't think that's a very nice trait.
No, I don't think how you can have a partner in life and yet you're like, how much have I got to you?
You owe me £3.50 for your coffee this morning.
Yeah, no. Please, can I have a dress? You know, or, you know...
No, that must be horrible.
Quite demeaning. I think it's quite demeaning in many ways to act like that, whatever. But what way do you share the family finances? Let us know. But then I don't have any money. That's probably why, you see. Too generous.
Because you're too generous and you give it all away.
All the time, all the time.
That's probably what it is.
Top story, Ellie, is what?
Well, the government is unveiling its long-awaited white paper outlining how it plans to cut net migration.
Sir Keir Starmer will admit Britain's migration policy has failed and that radical change will be needed to win back trust.
For British television, TV's finest descended on London's Royal Festival Hall for the 2025 BAFTA Television Awards.
Well, ITV's Mr Bates versus the Post Office scooped Best Limited Drama. Ruth Jones won the female comedy category for her role in Gavin and Stacey. See if you can spot her tribute to her beloved character, Nessa. How elderly people are involved in this. We have this lovely woman coming on whose name is Anita Atkinson, and she's a volunteer for homeless people. And we're talking about why people are stealing and whatever at a certain age. The thing is, I don't know I shouldn't be laughing. Something's happened to her laptop. So, but we're going to try. What we're trying to do is to get it set up and get it organised. But we do hope nobody's stolen it yet.
No, I don't think that. I think it's just an issue with the camera. So whilst we fix that,
no. Why don't we fix that? Let's talk about shoplifting. So
you want to do that? OK,
yes,
that's fine.
That's it.
A rise in elderly people shoplifting. Why is that? Well, they say it's down to the winter fuel cuts. So pensioners are now stealing in order to eat. I mean, it's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, so the thing is that a lot of people would assume older people couldn't be bothered or wouldn't be motivated by this or whatever. And I think the terrifying thing about this, we've got Oscar Reddrop back in the studio now, is that these elderly people just feel they've nothing...
homelessness. And she gives one example of a guy who wasn't able to access his pension for one reason or another. He became homeless very quickly because he wasn't able to pay his rent, of course, and now he's begging on the streets for food. That's the story she wanted to come on and tell us.
And this story doesn't hit home, Oscar, if it's about young people. Because they think, oh, they should be able to do better. They have an opportunity to change all this. But I think the fact that the profile we're talking about is elderly people, that pulls at somebody's heartstrings, I think.
That's who we should be...
We'll keep you anonymous. Just let us know. Thanks, Oscar.
Thanks.
Now it's time for our daily reflection. To remind you about our current giveaway, and this is the biggest one we've had to date.
Yes, your chance to win a motorhome worth over £67,000 plus £5,000 in tax-free cash. It could all be yours. Here's how. BAFTAs
begins. So the girls on the till would ring the bell, ding, 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 and then Mr. Holmes to the floor, please. Mr. Holmes to the floor. This woman says she wants a receipt for these underpants, and you go, yeah, she got a receipt. Yes. I said, what's the problem? And she'd say, well, she says these aren't worn.
Oh,
and I'd say,
disgusting.
And the problem is, and she said, did they look not worn? Oh, no. Hold that thought. We'll be back after the An ECHR crackdown and a longer route to residency are amongst the government's tall orders. Thunder and lightning's caused by heat.
And pressure.
And pressure, under pressure. I'm Eamon Holmes. Good morning to you.
I'm Ellie Costello, and this is GB News Breakfast.
This is Breakfast, and I'm Eamon Holmes.
And I'm Ellie Costello. who are now shoplifting in order to eat. Philip says, years ago, I was a security guard for a big high street company. Quite regularly, there were serious shoplifters that were arrested. But one morning, an old man came into the store with a folded newspaper under his arm and quickly slipped a packet of bacon into that newspaper and then left. Surely the supermarket should get together to come up with a strict method of trying to help older people.
Yeah, like a sort of food bank type idea. Yeah.
Because, honestly, if I worked in security for one of these big supermarkets like that and I saw an old person come in and try and put food into their bag, I'd turn a blind eye.
I think there's a big lack of sympathy to the supermarket profits. I'm not endorsing this, I'm not saying this is right at all, but when you get Tesco reporting billions of pounds, billions in terms of profit, and other people can't afford to pay for their packet of bacon, why... We've got something out of order there, we have. Generally, Jason, good morning, Jason, saying, isn't it funny that both Labour and the Tories are flapping about after these local elections? Bring on the general election, I say. Well, is it a sign of things to come?
Yeah, Heather says Starmer's promise of cracking down on immigration really is a case of shutting the stable door after the horse has bolted.
Well, there were a lot of horses bolting down the red carpet last night at the British Television Awards for the BAFTAs in London 2025.
Yes, ITV's Mr Bates versus the Post Office scooped Best Limited Drama, while Ruth Jones won in the female comedy category for her role in Gavin and Stacey. And see if you can spot her tribute to her beloved character, Nessa.
So many pensioners are just feeling so badly off. They just wonder what can be done in this present climate. And we want to introduce you to Rob Bright. And we've just heard the Prime Minister declaring Britain's migration experiment is over.
Addressing the nation a matter of moments ago, here's what he had to say. Speakers.
This is Ruth Jones. She won big, but Alan Cummings, the Master of Ceremonies, his skills were a bit mixed.
Moments ago, promising a complete overhaul of the migration system. Here's the question that GB News political editor Christopher Hope put to the Prime Minister. Newsroom is coming up at 9:30. Ben Turner is here to tell us